For over 200 years, Japan shut itself away from the world. No foreigners, no outside influence, no escape. But then, something appeared on the horizon. Massive black ships belching smoke into the sky. And within just 50 years, Japan would become one of the most powerful empires on Earth. How did this happen? This is the rise of Japan.
Long before modern Japan became one of the most powerful nations in the world, the country looked very different. Japan was divided. Powerful clans ruled different regions. Each leader wanted more land, more influence, and more control. For centuries, the nation was trapped in chaos. Civil war spread across the land. Samurai fought against samurai. Powerful warlords built armies and formed alliances. Then, those alliances broke apart. Battles became common. Villages burned. Families were forced to leave their homes. Fear and uncertainty became part of everyday life. Imagine living during that time. You wake up one morning and hear rumors that another army is approaching. No one knows whether the next week will bring peace or destruction. Farmers struggled to protect their crops. Merchants worried about losing everything. Ordinary people simply wanted stability. Japan needed someone strong enough to end the chaos. And eventually, that person appeared. Tokugawa Ieyasu. Tokugawa was patient. He was careful. Unlike many ambitious leaders who rushed into battles, he understood something important. Winning one battle was not enough. To control Japan, he needed to secure lasting power. In the year 1600, a decisive conflict took place. The Battle of Sekigahara. Thousands of warriors stood against one another. The outcome of this battle would decide Japan's future. When the fighting ended, Tokugawa emerged victorious. 3 years later, in 1603, he officially established the Tokugawa shogunate. Finally, after generations of war, peace arrived.
He officially established the Tokugawa shogunate. Finally, after generations of war, peace arrived. But Japan now had an unusual system. There were two important figures at the top, the emperor and the shogun. The emperor lived in Kyoto and was respected as the traditional ruler of Japan. People saw him as a symbol of authority and culture. But real power belonged elsewhere. The shogun controlled the military. The shogun controlled politics. The shogun controlled the government itself. In simple terms, the emperor represented Japan, but the shogun ruled Japan. For the first time in centuries, the country entered an era of peace and stability. Trade expanded. Cities grew larger. Culture flourished. But hidden beneath this peaceful surface, a decision was coming. A decision that would separate Japan from the rest of the world for more than 200 years. Even though peace had arrived, Japan's rulers still feared something: foreign influence. European traders had already arrived in Asia. Along with trade came new ideas, new religions, new weapons. Christian missionaries were spreading rapidly. The shogunate feared that foreign powers could slowly gain control from within. So they made a dramatic decision. Japan would close itself off from the outside world. This policy became known as Sakoku, the locked country. The rules were strict. Japanese citizens could not leave. The locked country. The rules were strict. Japanese citizens could not leave.
Foreigners could not freely enter. Large ships could not be built. Only limited trade with Dutch and Chinese merchants remained. For over 200 years, Japan lived in isolation. Meanwhile, outside Japan, the world was changing rapidly. Steam engines appeared. Factories expanded. The Industrial Revolution transformed nations. But Japan remained separated from it all. For a while, the system worked, but history was moving forward. And eventually, history reached Japan.
July 1853, the day that changed Japan forever. On the horizon, massive ships appeared. Dark smoke filled the air. The Japanese had never seen anything like them. These were American warships, led by Commodore Matthew Perry. People later called them the Black Ships. To many Japanese, they looked almost supernatural. The ships carried powerful cannons, advanced technology, and an unmistakable message. Open Japan to trade, or face consequences. Japan understood the danger. Their traditional military could not compete against industrial powers. Soon, treaties were signed, and many Japanese felt deeply humiliated. Their nation had been forced open. But this humiliation would soon ignite.
The ships carried powerful cannons, advanced technology, and an unmistakable message. Open Japan to trade, or face consequences. Japan understood the danger. Their traditional military could not compete against industrial powers. Soon, treaties were signed, and many Japanese felt deeply humiliated. Their nation had been forced open. But this humiliation would soon ignite something powerful. Anger spread throughout Japan. Many blamed the shogunate. People believed the government had failed. Young samurai demanded change. Their message was clear. Japan needed strength. Japan needed modernization. Soon, powerful groups formed alliances. Rebellions erupted. The old system began collapsing. Then, in 1868, a new era began. The Meiji Restoration. Power returned to the emperor. Japan had entered a completely new age. The locked country. The rules were strict. Japanese citizens could not leave. Foreigners could not freely enter. Large ships could not be built. Only limited trade with Dutch and Chinese merchants remained. For over 200 years, Japan lived in isolation. Meanwhile, outside Japan, the world was changing rapidly. Steam engines appeared. Factories expanded. The Industrial Revolution transformed nations. But Japan remained separated from it all. For a while, the system worked, but history was moving forward. And eventually, history reached Japan. Japan had become stronger. Now it wanted influence beyond its borders. War with China began. To the world's surprise, Japan won. Then another challenge appeared. Russia, one of the largest empires on Earth. Many expected Japan to fail. But history had other plans. Japanese forces launched devastating attacks. And during the Battle of Tsushima, Japan achieved something the world never expected. For the first time in modern history, an Asian power defeated a major European empire. The world watched in shock.
Japan was no longer isolated. Japan had become an empire.
Within just 50 years, Japan had transformed completely, from an isolated kingdom to a global empire. Its rise changed Asia forever, and the consequences would shape the future of the entire world. Because history teaches us one thing: nations can rise incredibly fast, but power always comes with a price.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe this channel for next episode.